Welcome back to another episode of The Mind of Reese. I am your host, Reese. Okay, that was unnecessary. Hello, I am so excited to be here, you guys. Okay, so today we are going to, I was having this conversation with my membership, the ARC, the Align and Rise community. And if you didn't already know, now you know that if you enter into the Align and Rise community, you are getting like daily Telegram messages, trainings, insights, behind the scenes, all the kind of good stuff. So much to plug in and play. But every month we do a different theme based on my body-based iconic brand method. So I have 7 parts to my body-based iconic brand method, and I dive in so deep into each part of, that brand. And so today, it was the other day, we're in the middle of April, so we are in building the community, building the movement. It's like really calling in these high-level premium buying clients and what they want. What's their mindset? What is it that they desire to see? How you create content, essentially, to call them in. So this episode is all about understanding that it's about being clear, not clever. Blurry isn't sovereign. Precision is the portal to the soulmate client. So if you're really looking to make content that makes you millions of doll hairs, you're going to need to understand exactly how to speak to these high level buyers. For those of you who are here and have never been here, hello, this is the Mind of Reese, and this is the space where visionary artists, creative healers, coaches, rebellious misfit entrepreneurs come to fuck around and find out just how powerful and profitable and precise they can be. So we are going to be we're going in on what happens after embodiment, because the truth is your client already feels you, but do they know what to do with you? So when you've already created a brand, you're like, I've created a brand, my brand is hitting, people are feeling me, all of the good stuff, I'm embodied, I'm speaking my truth, I'm continuing to refine, go deeper, like you're killing it. You fucking got the brand, you've got the soulmate clients. But let's talk about what it really means to go from being magnetic to being unmistakable. So many of us do the inner work. We've done a lot of inner work. We've become walking transmissions. We've cleaned up our energy. We're fully self-led. We've healed, we're continuously healing lots of the wounds, moved the emotions, and now we're fucking lit. Now we're moving from momentum, power, sovereignty, all the good stuff. But then we're like, why is it that everything's on point? My content's on point, I'm feeling on point, and I'm feeling like I'm getting crickets. And it's not because you're not powerful, but because you're not precise. So let me say it like this. Your high-level premium value buying clients, they're not waiting for your power, they're waiting for your precision. Now, I'm going to get into what that actually means, because the plot twist no one tells you when you're deep in your baddie self-embodied CEO era is that you become magnetic and assumed that was enough. But your soulmate client isn't just tuned into your vibe. They need context. They need clarity. They need the moment of, holy shit, this is for me. She is the one. I want to go dive deeper into her. So you can't just be a vibe. You can't just be a vibe. It can't just be a vibe. Unfortunately, that just doesn't work. It's I'm the vibe. It does. It work. If you're here, you should be fucking proud of yourself. Let me just tell you. If you're I am a vibe, I'm feeling myself, I feel so fucking amazing and magnetic and all of these things, and now I'm just ready for it to really, really click with my high-level premium buying clients, you should be proud of yourself, okay? So you have to build the container that holds this vibe. So that's what we're doing. So otherwise, you just have a beautiful mood board. That's what, our content does start from Instagram. It starts from social media. Our brand starts with content, and our content starts with, any social media platform that you're on. So when I say this with love, magnetism without context is like having a candlelit dinner with no food. The ambiance is there, but I'm still hungry, bitch. Okay? So you might be in the it might be a little blurry. It's like they were in the blurry era. We're in this blurry, I'm speaking out loud, I feel a vibe and all these things, but it's not quite carrying over. It's not quite getting the soulmate client to convert, to say, hey, I want to work with you. Let's fucking go. We need to be powerful. It's it's powerful, but sometimes can be too poetic, too universal, too all-encompassing, too much like choose your own adventure energy. Your clients don't want an adventure, they want a result. Okay, so the expert level shift. So here's the big reframe. If you're magnetic but still not getting high converting DMs, applications, aligned as fuck clients saying yes on the spot, the question isn't, am I embodied enough? The question is my message psychologically relevant to the person who's ready right now? Let's break this down into real questions you need to start answering within your content. This is who this is for. This is what this work actually does. This is why now matters. This is why I'm the one, right? This is why you can't wait. Like, these are the things that your content needs to be answering all the time, because your people aren't just looking for a vibe. Like, that vibes are for influencers, like really just like people that are selling for other brands, like the vibe, the aesthetic, all of these things. That's so important. And at the same time, the reason why a lot of influencers have a lot of followers, it's because of that reason. We want a lot of dollars. We want conversions. You don't need a lot of followers to have a lot of dollars. You don't need a lot of followers to have a lot of conversions. You just need to be precise. You just need to have more precision. So they're looking for their next timeline. Your job is to collapse that timeline for them. I've seen so many powerful creators say things like, my work speaks for itself. I only work with self-led clients. I don't want to over-explain. But when someone lands on your page, do they actually know what life will look like on the other side of working with you? If not, that's not sovereignty. That's just you being vague and mysterious and hoping people read your mind. I mean, come on now. Like, I just have this conversation with my partner, Andy, and I'm just like, he's like, babe, I just, he told me something, and he's like, I just really, wish you would do more of this. And I'm like, wait, you're mad at me for not doing it in the past, but you never told me and communicated with me till months later. Am I a mind reader? Like, babe, if you just tell me that that's what you want in the moment, I'm gonna give it to you because I love you and I want you to be happy. Like, I'm gonna give it to you, daddy. So just speak it plainly, communicate it to me. That's good communication. Emotional mastery, self mastery is having a good communication with yourself. And then in turn, you actually understand how to communicate with others. Everything is self-led. Everything is self-led. That's the reason why it's body-based iconic brand method, because of the fact that you have to go in your body and get to know yourself well enough so you even know how to communicate with the people that you want in your spaces. So, like, of course, my partner, so amazing. He's just like, we have we have beautiful conversations. We call them emotional honesty. Because like every time we need to be emotionally honest with each other, we do emotional check-ins. And so we do emotional check-ins like weekly, bi-weekly, just to check in on each other, because we live together. We're entrepreneurs. We're going banana crazy with all the things that we do in our business. And so it's like, we've got to have these emotional check-ins. And we've been having, like, when we did have this, he's like, hey, babe, emotional check-in. I'm like, yes, babe. So, like, I turn my whole body. And, of course, it's, like, it's all about the entire thing. Like, I'm going to have this emotional check-in. And he was like, okay, I'm feeling this way about about this particular thing that happened, like, in December. And I was just like, okay. And he's like, yeah, I just feel like I'm not being valued. And I was like, okay. And I'm, like, listening. And then he said, something about presents in Christmas. And to my knowledge, we've had conversations about Christmas before, and it was like, we don't get each other presents. That's just not a thing. But I bought all his whole family presents because it was the first time that they'd ever come to California. And so when he didn't get it, and like, but this is like at this time when we had this conversation was like back in like February, March. And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me then? He's like, I don't know. I think I just like expected you to do it because he bought me presents, which I was like aghast. I was like, oh no, I hate it when people buy me presents because I always think that someone wants something back. I'm like, don't buy me presents because I just know I'm not a present giver. Like, I will give you gifts during the year. I'm not a gift giver like during a certain specific time. Like, I'm like, ooh, let me think of you. I thought of you. I bought this thing for you. Like, that's how I am. And I'm very, very clear about that. So if you want any more from me, you gotta tell me, because otherwise I'm going to be clear with what I do and I'm not going to understand. So like when February rolls around and he's saying he's feeling undervalued and it started because of Christmas, I was like, first off, why didn't you tell me earlier? Second off, like, if you wanted presents, you have to tell me. Like, I don't care. I can buy you presents. It's easy. He's like, I just, this whole thing. And I'm like, don't be vague. What do you want? Tell me like it is. What is it that you'd like? And then finally, I get it. It's like, cards here and there, little love notes, da-da-da. I was all done, bitch. Like, I got you. I'm going to be the best fucking random note, card, gift giver you've ever fucking met because I want to rock your world, daddy. And like, let's fucking go. So that's him articulating. But if you don't articulate it to me, how am I supposed to know how I'm going to work with you? I'm like, we're vibing. Me and Andy, we're vibing. I'm like, yes, this is amazing. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. We're in an amazing space. And then all of a sudden I get, hey babe, can we have emotional honesty? I've been feeling this way for months. And I'm like, what the fuck? How is that real? I thought we've been vibing. Because he doesn't communicate it to me. So of course I'm like, okay, babe, absolutely. Next time, communicate it faster. Don't make me read your mind. You need to clearly articulate this so that I can understand what it is that you need from me, and I will let you know whether I'm going to give it to you or not. And most of the time I am, because I fucking love him and I want him to be happy. And if he would do the same for me, I'm just very upfront with what I want, because I've done the whole manipulation tactic around like trying to segue around not being upfront about what it is that I want from someone, and then it always led me to feeling resentful. So what's like the tangible move here, right? So what would my soulmate client instantly say yes to if they knew I offered it, right? If they knew I offered it, what would they automatically? Not what you want to talk about, not the long layered philosophical version of your method, of your way of life, of the way that you think, but the clear human heart hitting truth of what your presence changes. Okay? Because you already feel the frequency. Like you already know what your frequency is. You already know what your vibe is. You're already vibing. But being a vibe and actually being a business that converts are two different things. You do have to have a vibe, but in order to convert it, we have to be clear and articulate exactly what we want our people to understand. So this is about specificity. This is about like really understanding like, okay, yes, I want to talk about self-love, for instance. Like I want to talk about self-love. Okay, cool. Can we go deeper on that? I want to talk about mental health. Okay, cool. Can we go deeper on that? What about mental health? I went into coaching being like, I want to teach meditation. Why? Okay, because mental, emotional, spiritual health will lead to wealth and success. Okay, let's go deeper. I want to be a spiritual somatic coach. Okay, what do I believe? I'm like, okay, self-mastery will lead to wealth and success. Okay, let's go deeper. Okay, what style do? I do psychosomatic meditations. Okay, not just any meditation, psychosomatic meditations. How do I do that? Through the chakras, through invoking the goddesses, through different methodologies based in yoga, kundalini yoga, breath work, meditation, different aspects of different cultural meditations, moving meditations, things where we're actually moving the body, going into the body. So like I have very precise ways on how I get my clients from A to B result. And I teach on it very, very specifically now in my online content. Like before it was like, I only do business with the sides of somatics. Now I'm like, no, it's somatics always first, every single day. And then it's strategy, because if we're not focusing on the body, we don't actually know who we are, then we don't know how to communicate what it is that we're trying to articulate to the online world, and to and to like have people lead themselves into our DMs, into our spaces, right? And so this is what content is meant to be. So if you're like, let me give you a few examples of what this sounds like in like real content. Like instead of I help you reclaim your power, try I help women who've outgrown the one-to-one model scale their creative genius into a course or membership using body-based launch strategies that doesn't burn them out, right? Like, whoa, that's going to really do it for you. Instead of like, I expand into your next level leadership, you're like, if you're a spiritual tattoo artist ready to go from fully booked to fully paid with courses, retreats, or mentorships that actually sell, that's where I come in. See, like, do you understand? Like, I didn't kill the poetry. I just added direction. That's it. I just adding direction. So I feel like when we understand that being broad is like such a, like, I want to like commend you for the fact that like you've gotten yourself to a point where you're like, okay, I am like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm a somatic healer. I'm a creative healer. I'm a tattoo artist. I'm a brand developer. I'm a embodiment coach. I'm a money coach. I'm a physical therapist. Whatever it is that you do, I've had so many flavors of people come into my spaces. It's like, whatever it is that you're doing, is there a way to really specify that methodology? Is there a way to really like come into like, what does your experience look like? And when I even think about it from like an intuitive space, like my methodology isn't frame by frame by frame by frame. It's not step by step by step by step. Yes, I do have some steps and some frameworks, but it is also very intuitive. So when I think of like, you know, for those out there that are like intuitive tattoo creators, like intuitive tattoo experiences or something like that. Like, let's say you're a tattoo artist and you're like intuitive tattoo experience. It's like, yes, and like, what does that intuitive part mean? Because there's so many ways to be intuitive. So like for me, when it comes to like my somatic coaching, when I'm doing spiritual somatic mentorship and coaching, I'm like, okay, what actually spiritual? So for me, it's like guides, God, guides, gods, and signs, right? Like guides, gods, and signs. Like I'm like, what is the sign? God's got my back, you know, guides. I've got like a bunch of goddesses that are like, have my back, you know, my goddess guides, right? And then when it comes to like the somatics, yes, I have different types of psychosomatic meditations that I take people through. And so I look at it from like somatics. Okay, is it dance somatics? Is it moving somatics? I'm like, no, it's psychosomatic. So it's like in your mind, visualization into the body, feeling into the body what's happening, right? So that's psychosomatic. So it's again, it's another niche, right? And then I'm going even deeper. It's like as a coach or a mentor, as a tattoo artist, like it doesn't really matter what the actual like vehicle is, but I am being specific on the thing that I'm talking about and why it's important. So this way that like, instead of just like mental health, like what part of mental health you're like, okay, mental health that leads into self-love, that leads into self-devotion, self-love through what? You know what I mean? So like, again, it's like, if we're going to dive deeper into self-love, like how do we find self-love? So we have so many different topics that we can deepen into. So specificity over anything else. And so that is my quick and steady, quick and fun and easy little episode for you when it comes to your messaging, calling in high level buyers. Because like, honestly, like this is really where we take our brands to another level, to that really cool next level of how we can actually create something that's legacy driven. It's forever driven. So if this episode activated something in you, if you're sitting there thinking, I am embodied, but I've been hiding behind the mystery and hoping they just feel me, then this is your invitation to be precision. This is your moment to decide, I will no longer be magnetic and mysterious. I will be obvious and undeniable. Because the most sovereign move you can make isn't to be elusive, it's to be specific. Make that decision. Also, join me in the ARC or in all the other fun spots if you want to work with me. They're in the show notes. Do all the things. So sending you lots of love. If you want to DM me, put the 5 stars, all the kind of things. I love it when you guys do that. It makes me so happy. I love hearing your guys' vibes outside of like the podcast. And you're like, I really love this podcast. It meant this X, Y, and Z to me. I love hearing your feedback. It obviously pushes what kind of podcast I do for the future. And I'm sending you guys lots of love.